Good evening. I'm Scott Puailoa, and welcome to the San Marcos High School Hall of Fame. I'd like to, on behalf of the Puailoa family, congratulate all of the athletes and the coaches. Coach John Stoney, Coach Maury Halleck, and my dad, Sut Puailoa, in inducting into the Hall of Fame at San Marcos High School. We were very blessed to have our dad as a father, as a mentor growing up, and we were very blessed for him to be here at San Marcos High School in our youth and growing up and watching and playing for Coach Stoney and Coach Halleck and our father. Not many players, students, and athletes have an opportunity to spend time with their parents growing up, and we were blessed to be able to do that. And being around our father in those years and playing here at this school and these coaches, to be able to grow up with the honesty and the integrity and the sportsmanship that they exuded here at this school. Being part of that with our dad as a mentor in that aspect in the development of players and athletes, which was what we all learned. We were able to coach here later on in those years as well. A lot of the people here know that the field was named after him, which was very special, but to be honored to be in the Hall of Fame was very special for our family. And we want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for honoring our dad into the San Marcos High School Hall of Fame. As representing the Puailoa family, we are very honored in welcoming our dad, Sut, the Samilan Samoan Puailoa, to the San Marcos High School Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bob Archer. I'm honored to be here today to induct into the Hall of Fame, San Marcos Hall of Fame, Maury Halleck. And I must say I'm also honored that I'm here with Sut Puailoa and John Stoney, who were influences in my career. They were already here and legends when I started. Maury was here for 31 years. He grew up in Washington State, married Lorraine Halleck, which is here tonight, and had 4 children, Brad, Kevin, Brian, and Maureen. Maury was here as a teacher. He started the adaptive PE department. He also was the department chair for physical education. He was a athletic director and a 10th grade counselor. Maury coached 3 sports here. He coached tennis for 3 years and had 3 championships. He coached girls softball for 2 years and had 2 championships. Mainly, though, everybody knows Maury for basketball. He was the first basketball coach here. He coached basketball for 23 years. He had 7 league championships and I think 8 second places. Had some great runs. Everybody probably more likely remembers the '81 team that went to the finals against Long Beach Poly. Like I said, he's being inducted into a Hall of Fame that he started. So that's a pretty big honor to have that after all those years be inducted into it. Anyhow, it's my pleasure to induct and introduce Maury Halleck. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Steve Raber, and I played on Coach Stoney's state championship golf team in 1975. It's a privilege to be here tonight, especially with Coach's wife Pam and son Todd here to join in the celebration. One of the first things that comes to mind about Coach is a book called How Champions Think by Bob Rotella, one of the great sports psychologists in the country. And Rotella wrote that smart coaches have always understood the importance of optimism. And that's really important in a sport like golf, which is such a mental game. And I still have this image from more than 40 years ago of Coach behind the green with the signature fist pump and his favorite word, super. And when you were with him, you felt like things would be okay, and that even if you were struggling, that you'd be able to turn it around. So I think that he really understood that players perform best when they're optimistic. And I honestly believe that he was a sports psychologist before there even was such a thing. A couple of quotes from the great John Wooden also come to mind. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And little things make big things happen. Nobody prepared like Coach. Nobody paid attention to the details like Coach. And my favorite story about this is from 1977 at the CIF Southern Section Finals in Riverside. When you go to a tournament like that, it's pretty stressful when you get there because you have all these players and a limited number of places on the driving range to warm up. So Coach had made arrangements for us to go to a nearby course for our warm-up, and when we got there, we were the only people on the driving range. We had a great warm-up, and when we got to the tournament course, we were confident and we were ready to play. And not surprisingly, we won CIF that day. So Coach, I want to thank you for being such a positive, optimistic force in my life. I'm grateful for all the time that we spent together. I think of you even now when I go into courtrooms and I can see that fist pump and I can hear that word super, and I feel like I'm going to be able to do my best no matter how tough the case. On behalf of everyone in the San Marcos community, I want to thank you for everything you've done for the school and congratulate you on being inducted into the San Marcos Hall of Fame.
Hi, Kenny. Welcome to the San Marcos High School Hall of Fame. It is a pleasure to be able to talk about you today. You are genuine, you are real, you're thoughtful, and you've always been a winner. The 10 years that we worked together, 4 when you were a player for me and 6 as a coach for me, were the most successful, memorable years that San Marcos soccer's ever had, and any program at San Marcos in the history of the school. You know, you were never a follower and you were real to yourself, like I said. I remember one time, and I used to not really scream at refs or things like that. I got really out of control after a game. And I remember you coming up to me as a young assistant coach saying, "Hey, Abe, if it's gonna be like this, I want nothing to do with this program." As a winner, Kenny, we won 4 league titles with you there in the 10 years. We went to the semifinals 3 times, and we won a CIF title too. You went on to City College, a new program, and you took them to 2 Final Fours, winning a state title, and then went on to UCSB when they restarted the program under Tim Baumstieg and led them to their first winning season in a long, long time. You've gone on to being very successful in the business, and what a great father you are. And so, Kenny, I love you, and welcome to the San Marcos Hall of Fame.
Aaron and I are really proud to be here talking about Erica Menzel Downing, but to us, as Aaron knows, we call her Menzel. I think back to when I first came, being early, my 20s, and it was an exciting time for me to be part of San Marcos High School, and then also to be with such a great athlete.
And me being a little bit older, being here when Erica came in as a freshman, I just remember seeing this elite athlete, and you can just tell as a freshman she was going to do amazing things on the basketball court, on the volleyball court, and out here at the track.
I got to know Erica out here and working in the stadium, and as soon as I met her and saw her performing, I knew that she was going to be great. She excelled in long jump, hurdle, she was a league champion. She ran the mile relay and also our school record holder in the high jump, so she was an all-around athlete out here for us.
And on the volleyball court, leading us to multiple Channel League titles, leading us to CIF titles. You know, she was the driving force behind those teams. You know, you can always see her grit, her determination, her competitiveness, and she was going to will those teams to victory. And it just shows what the type of personality she has, that competitive personality, and what type of athlete she truly is.
She's probably one of the best 3-sport athletes we've had here at San Marcos High School, and I always think of Erica as someone who hated to lose more than she loved to win. She would do anything she could to win. As she grew out of high school, watching her at UCSB, what a smart athlete she was for her size. I think that's a big deal. That back in the day, she was undersized in all of her events pretty much, and she really took advantage of being smart, and she did that at UCSB and had a great career there.
And then I was proud of her also when she returned to San Marcos to be the head coach for girls volleyball here, and being able to take her experiences from the court and to teach the next generation of young women here at San Marcos to be able to compete on the volleyball court, once again leading us to more Channel League titles, and also, you know, like yourself, setting the example for women that it is possible to be a coach, to be a wife, to be a mother. And I think that's such an important role model for our women here, our women student athletes here at San Marcos High School.
She's just a natural at working with kids. She filled that role really great. Then moving on to the volleyball career here at San Marcos. Really amazing woman, and now a peer of ours that we get to hang out with and have a lot of fun. But she's just been a joy, and I think looking back, it's been wonderful for my family to be involved with hers, and I know our community here at San Marcos appreciates her.
So Menzel, we are very proud of you. We are proud to coach you. We are proud to be a colleague of you. We are proud that you are our friend, and we are very honored to induct you into the San Marcos High School Hall of Fame.
We love you, Erica. Congratulations from the San Marcos Royal family. We love you.
I'm John Stoney, former athletic director and coach at San Marcos High School, and it's a pleasure for me to have the opportunity to introduce to you Mr. Mike McGinnis, PGA golf professional, who's entering the San Marcos Athletic Hall of Fame. Mike graduated in 1968 from San Marcos High School when it was only a 3-year high school at the time. For all 3 years, he participated in both basketball and golf, playing for coaches Maury Halleck in basketball and Sut Palo in golf. In 1968, he was MVP of the San Marcos golf team, moved on to Santa Barbara City College, where he is MVP of the Western States Conference. Some of the honors won by Mike include being Southern California Apprentice Golf Champion, setting course records at 2 local courses, Ocean Meadows, where he shot a 9-hole score at 29, and a 18-hole score of 64. He also holds the course record at Sandpiper Golf Course, shooting a round of 64. To his credit in the development of golf, he was at one time co-designer of the Hunter Ranch Golf Course up in Paso Robles, a championship facility. For 18 years, he was director of golf from 1982 to 2003 at all 3 courses, Hunter Ranch, La Purísima, and Sandpiper. An outstanding addition to the Athletic Hall of Fame. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, I'm John Lee, and I am Jason Donnelly's coach in high school, and I'm very proud of that because Jason has gone on to not only erase most of my coaching accomplishments, but to show people throughout the world of volleyball just how much fun the sport is, and he has made people the best athletes they can be. You don't talk to anyone who has talked to Jason that doesn't love the guy. He's inspirational, he's disciplined, and his players are proud and they love him. Jason, when I first saw him, he was coming into the 9th grade here at San Marcos, and I had a girls' volleyball practice in the gym, and he looked in the door. He had never played volleyball. He looked in, he saw the sport, and the rest is sports history. He became a member of the volleyball team. He also played football and soccer and basketball here at San Marcos. So he's the multi-sport athlete and just a lover of all sports. And his contagious enthusiasm for volleyball has put him on the map as one of the best coaches in Santa Barbara, for many years now. And he's a person that I'm very proud to call a product of the San Marcos volleyball tradition. Through the years, Jason Donnelly has proven himself to have not only the talent as an athlete, but the character as a leader of young people. And we are proud to welcome him into the San Marcos Hall of Fame for so many reasons, his character primarily.
Good evening. I'm Mo Clayton, former football coach and principal at San Marcos High School. And it gives me great pleasure to present you with Anthony Califano, who is a former player and athlete here at San Marcos High School. Anthony was born and raised in Santa Barbara. He spent much of his youth over on the west side, and he spent a lot of time at the Westside Boys Club, where he developed a great love of sports and athletics. I first met Anthony when he came into 9th grade, and when he joined our football program. And he had an outstanding character. He had a great work ethic. And for 4 years in our program, he developed into a fine young man and just an outstanding lineman for us. Eventually, by the time he was a senior, he earned all Channel League honors, first team. His wrestling career was even more outstanding. He spent 4 years developing his skills and honing them, and by the time he was a senior, he was an all-CIF Southern Second champion. He went on in the state to finish 4th and just did a great job. When he left San Marcos after he graduated, Anthony went to Humboldt State College, where he again continued on in academics, earning his teaching credential and expanding his career in wrestling, where he became an NC2A champion. When he left Humboldt College, his first job was at an Indian reservation up in Northern California as a teacher and as a coach. He left there and went to Hollister, California, where he taught high school there for 2 years and was also the wrestling coach. He came down to San Marcos and joined us as a counselor on our staff. Stayed here for 2 years, and his desire to become a coach and continue on in teaching, a job became available for him at Dos Pueblos High School. He's been at Dos Pueblos for 20 years and has developed an outstanding program over there. He's one of the premier wrestling coaches in the state, and he's won many, many honors there also. Throughout his career, he's developed great friendships. His teammates here at San Marcos loved him. He bonded with several of them who they've stayed in contact over the years. He's been the best man in their weddings. I can recall times when he was playing football for us on the field after the game. He and his buddies, his 4 friends, they would, win or lose, they'd stay on the field afterwards and they'd meet all the kids that were in the stands, all the elementary school kids, shake their hands, put them on their shoulders, carrying them around, pat them on the backs. Great inspiration for these young children, and helped develop our program, because we had all these kids that would come through and play football for us and other athletics. It gives me great pleasure to introduce a former player and just a great person and great character, Anthony Califano.
Hi, my name is Scott Brennan. I was Adrian Binder's swim coach at San Marcos High School. I'd like to congratulate Adrian for her accomplishments and her selection into the San Marcos Hall of Fame. Before I begin, I'd like just to read some of the accomplishments that Adrian did while at San Marcos and after in college at Auburn University. Adrian was a member of the Goodwill Games in the year 2001. In 2003, she was a member of the World University Games. In 2003, she swam the second fastest 1650-yard freestyle time ever in the history of America. She was a 4-time NCAA College All-American and participated in the Olympic trials in 2004. In 2007, she won the NCAAs in 500-yard freestyle. As you can see, her athletic accomplishments were very, very well known and very exciting. On top of being a great college member of the athletic program of Auburn, she also was a member of San Marcos High School. Even though she did not train with me, she trained downtown with some of the coaches for the club teams. She made a point to make sure she was at every single swim meet, whether we needed her or not. She did great in encouraging all the other athletes at San Marcos to do their best. She led the team in all her events, and as a coach, I could not help but know that I was going to win each and every event that I would put her in. Adrian showed wonderful leadership skills at the program. She was always encouraging the other swimmers to do better, and she was very enthusiastic about each and every swim meet, which was something that led across the board with all the other athletes at San Marcos. Adrian, I want to thank you for being part of the San Marcos swimming program, and I congratulate you as being a new member of the Hall of Fame.